Lajara.
Welcome to the FAL Consulting Podcast, your number one source for educational crypto content. Today is Friday, October 29th, 2021, and on today's show, we'll be going over the top 10 cryptos for the day, as well as Facebook renamed itself to Meta as it gears up to evolve into its next form, 4 reasons not to invest in Bitcoin futures ETFs, and a discussion on the Inu frenzy. All that and more on today's FAL Podcast. But as always, Mike, is anything the listeners are listening to right now, including my voice financial advice?
No financial advice, especially when you see it on Twitter from the Shibanots.
The Shibanots? Is that what we're calling them now?
I don't know, because they're all on Mars, either financially or mentally. So
and from what I've seen, to be financially on Mars, you more than likely have to be mentally on Mars, or a good percentage of the people who have ended up financially on Mars is, in my opinion, are mentally on Mars. But so that's what you need.
Yeah, that's like a bunch of Max Kaisers. Who do you think you are? I am.
Yeah, but I've said this before. If I made a bunch of money off of fucking Shiba Inu, I'd be out there too. Like, Shiba Inu's gonna feed my kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think me or you would be on social media tweeting about how much we made off of Shiba Inu because somebody would come knocking at the door.
Yeah, probably.
It's not going to be the IRS.
You're right. That's the other thing too. I also thought about that.
I forget where it was. I think it might have been in like the UK or something. This kid got kidnapped and held for ransom because he was tweeting about how much money he made in crypto.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. This ties into the little SHIB frenzy. We're going to get to that later. But that's definitely, let's put a pin on that because that's insane and it's something to bring up. But let's see where SHIB is currently standing on the top 10 cryptos for the day. Holy shit.
It's number one?
At number one, at 62,440,000. No.
That was just the circulating supply.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot less than the circulating supply.
At number one, we have Bitcoin at $62,508, up 2.09%. At number 2, we have Ethereum at $4,407, up 5.5%. At number 3, we have Binance Coin at $524, up 7.67%. At number 4, we have Tether. At number 5, we have Cardano at $2.01, down 0.10%. At number 6, we have Solana at $201, up 1.21%. At number 7, we have XRP at $1.08, up 1.88%. At number 8, we have Polkadot at $43.36, up $1, up 2.03%. And at number 9, coming in new and hot, the Shiba Inu at 0.00007277, up 0.71%. That was 4 zeros, so 4 zeros. I
thought we got even more millionaires now. They cleared another
7277. Up 1.25% on the day, up 163% for the week. I think overall 600% for the month. And at number 10, we have the measly, sad Dogecoin, sitting at 28 cents, up
These mangy mongrels.
Down 10.46%, up 19.99% overall in the week. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it really is, especially as it was like number 40 or something like that when at the beginning of the month. It's moving crazy. I don't know. They might have to start an ETF based off of SHIB. That would be pretty interesting to see.
You think they'd end up freaking approving it?
You're lucky we got these ones approved that we got last week.
That's a fact. I mean, these may be the only ones too.
Nah, yeah. Bit. I don't even think it's like too. I mean, it's cool. Obviously, it's still like a landmark accomplishment for crypto, but I don't know if it's the best way to participate in Bitcoin or get exposure to Bitcoin. There's other ways to do it. It's a peg to the futures contract, so you're not even buying the direct asset itself. You're basically betting on the price of it in the future.
Yeah, at the time when it was announced, we were really happy. We saw the price movement because of it, in reaction to it. But I definitely agree with you. It's not the way that we would suggest to get your exposure to crypto. Obviously, if you are a hedge fund manager or you work at a firm where you're not allowed to buy crypto and this is the only way to get your exposure, then 100% go along the ways. We're happy it's there as an instrument, but it shouldn't be touted as the way that people should now be getting invested in crypto. We should always remember the goal to be grab as many coins as you can. It's it's not about the price. It's about the democratization of money, as you often say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's and there was two things I really from the article I was reading that stood out about it. It says, based on SEC rules, these ETFs will only mimic exposure up to 85% of the net asset value, and the other 15% would be made up of things like treasury bills because they're less volatile. So it evens it out a little bit, but you're still not getting, you weren't getting direct exposure to begin with, and you're getting even less of a direct exposure this way. And the other one was that since they're futures contracts, they have an expiration date. So at the end of the month, you'd either have to sell it or you could roll it over into the next month. So since you're buying it through an ETF, you can't buy or sell it yourself. They're just going to roll it over into the next one, and that accrues a fee when you're rolling it over. So that's a fee that's paid on top of it. Plus, to enter into the fund itself, you have to pay, I think it's 0.95% fund fee.
If there wasn't enough fees.
Yeah, so you're losing a little bit just getting into it and holding it. You lose a little bit more. You lose a little bit each month if it's not really like hitting, you know?
That's nuts. I definitely didn't know that, especially about the 85% exposure with 15% of it being likely treasury bills, which is, when you hear Bitcoin ETF, especially if you are someone who wants to get involved and you're like, oh, Bitcoin to ETF is out there. Maybe you're older, for example, because it'd be a better example and you want to get exposure. You're like, oh, I'm going to go the ETF route because that's easier for me. And you're investing in something that's 15% of it is even crypto. And it's not even hedged to the price of the actual asset. It's ridiculous. And not ridiculous. It's a good thing that it's out there, but it just shouldn't be the only way people are looking at it.
Nah, yeah. It's just, like you said, for people that are older or can't really buy crypto because their company doesn't allow for it. This is like their only way to do it, besides getting in on Grayscale. But I just thought it was pretty crazy.
You think it'll change though once we can have the other one on spot? My bad.
Yeah, when you get a spot ETF, it'll be a little better just because at that point it is tied directly to the asset. I mean, you still don't own it yourself. It would be kind of like buying it through Robinhood almost, where you don't have a wallet, so you can't really you can't transfer it between accounts peer to peer like it's supposed to be. So that's just why I probably wouldn't buy an ETF. Like, I'd rather just buy it myself on Coinbase.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're listening to this and you've been considering it, do not do it, but get your coins on Coinbase. And even you want to go even further, when you get your coins on Coinbase and you have the ability to get a Trezor and move your coins onto that Trezor wallet just in case. That's a story for another time, but if you know what we're referencing, then you know exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, that'll give you more direct ownership. You could probably even throw them into the fucking metaverse at some point too. I'm sure you'll be able to put your Trezor in there somehow.
I think Mark Zuckerberg will allow you to bring your Trezor into his new metaverse that's held under his Meta company.
It might. If he decides to do what Steve was just talking about before, it could be like the evil guy from Ready Player One, where you get the decentralized metaverse against the centralized metaverse.
Fighting in the decentralized metaverse versus the centralized
fighting
metaverse.
Mark Zuckerberg, the Winklevi gonna get in there and fuck him up.
I've been thinking a lot about this metaverse and how I feel about it. On one hand, it's true, and obviously, if you didn't know, me and Mike are referencing that Facebook, the infamous social media giant, has announced it's renaming itself to Meta. Well, not renaming itself, but it's now going to be underneath Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
It's gonna be that's just their new ticker symbol, right? It's gonna be Meta.
It's gonna be Meta market underneath it, and then Oculus is underneath a different umbrella, which is, I have to update a news story from yesterday because I reported on it falsely or wrongly at the time. But I've been thinking a lot about it, and people have been coming towards it. We mentioned it a couple of weeks ago that they were looking to rebrand themselves, and obviously we can talk about how this could be a way for them to avoid the scrutiny that they've gotten from stealing people's data and the big breaches that they've had and stuff that they should definitely be fined for, and some people should definitely go to jail for. I don't know who, but that's not my job to figure out.
Yeah, it'll be hard to send them to jail. I didn't read the terms of service that they send me.
Whoever does.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through some of the terms of service. I've read it. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I don't agree with this. But then the caveat is all right, if you don't agree, then you can't use the app.
Yeah, you're never going to be able to use the service.
I guess I need to use the app, so take it.
So just take all my data.
Pretty much.
I don't want the metaverse to take all your data and to be this horrible place of fucking
Yeah, they're gonna be able to take all my vitals. They're gonna know my height, weight, everything that fluctuates day to day when I put that thing
Where
on.
there's a bunch of algorithms just feeding you everything at every moment that you would feel best. Because that's the bleak future that most of us believe we'll have, because it's a bleak future we've been fed inside of a lot of the media and stuff like that we've been given. But the thing that I feel people don't look at when they see these things like Ready Player One and these other movies where there's corporations like the Matrix and they've created this technology and it's ruining society, is that at the end of the movie, the technology's still there. Mm-hmm. The person who's created the technology obviously was the villain the whole time, but the people have now come to use this technology differently and change their lives for the better within the constraints of whatever problem they needed to hump or hurdle they needed to get over, like most technology that everybody has had. So is this a problem with people just wanting to dunk on Facebook, people not liking crypto, an amalgamation of NFTs, VR, people wanting to go back to be like, let's go outside and get back on your lawn? Because a lot of it's just a lot of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy.
Yeah.
There you go. Fucking hypocrisy. There's a lot of hypocrisy that I've just been seeing thrown around, and it's not within our circle of crypto necessarily, but it's definitely within the outside bubble that don't really understand what it means, and not even crypto necessarily, just the outside wider gambit of people.
Yeah, it's also just it's hard to understand a lot of it too. You know, you hear like with crypto, for example, a lot of people know of it because who got scammed, who lost this and that. You know, black market uses it, so it's easy to have a misconception of what's going on until you really start looking at things. That's the only thing I think that could be throwing people off. But there's definitely, I don't know. It's just people aren't going to be happy at the end of the day, no matter what you do with certain things. So you can't convince them to think otherwise in some facets. Like they've been doing something a certain way their whole life. That's all they know. That's the best way to do it.
It just gets me tired because I'm like, I know you're going to succumb to it. Like everything else, we're human beings. People are feeding us something. Not that you're gonna succumb to it. Maybe there'll be people who avoid it, but this is where society is gonna move. Not that gotta get with the times or die, but it's probably gonna be like that. And I don't think that I have a problem with it. People necessarily have a problem with it, but I have a problem with how little they are open to even having the idea of it potentially being there. Yes, I don't want Mark Zuckerberg to make my fucking metaverse. I want to make my own metaverse, but I don't have the technology, nor the money, nor the ideas, nor the funds to do it. And neither do 90% of the people listening to this. So we would have never gotten to that point without this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's somebody would have, if it wasn't Mark Zuckerberg, probably would have been Jeff Bezos, somebody like that, somebody that's already got some involvement. But all these big companies will probably start getting into VR. Like I don't be surprised when Gemini is like the next one to do it, because if someone's gonna stick it to Mark Zuckerberg,
you think Gemini's gonna get it? I don't know.
I think they just got $300 million in funding from somewhere in India.
They bought Oculus for like $2 billion back in 2014.
Who did Facebook?
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking.
That company was kickstarted. We'll talk about a guy making money. Palmer Luckey, the original founder, is like a billionaire off of nothing.
But Gemini's put a lot of I don't know how much exactly, but they've put a decent amount of funding into Somnium Space, which is basically another metaverse type of game like Decentraland. So that could be something they're gearing up as a big competition for them. Especially they already have more of, I guess, the market that would be wanting to use it anyway. It's like crypto people would be more inclined to use a metaverse than somebody that's just on Facebook, because Facebook's an older community now at this point.
Exactly. I think you bring up a good point right there where you say, Gemini has their own platform. Facebook is going to have a platform. They'll be competing platforms. If you don't want to be in this metaverse, then you could be in this other metaverse. Just like if you don't want to play Battlefield, you can play Call of Duty. If you don't want to play Need for Speed, you can play Forza.
Just like Frank was asking before, it's like you could go into a bunch of different metaverses, not at once, but you could be in, which I don't know. These Oculuses got 128 gigabytes. I don't know how many gigabytes it is to be in a metaverse or to save one on there, so you could go into it every time. Yeah. But if you could definitely
probably cloud storage, honestly.
Yeah, it's basically like another console.
Mm-hmm.
So you could whatever game, whatever metaverse, you could probably just jump in it.
Exactly, and there'll probably be games within certain metaverses, and we're gonna have to get to there to see how.
Yeah, there's gonna be Oculus exclusives.
Yeah, exactly. This is my fucking Eminem corner spot. I go watch this. There's like VR events too on the Oculus. There's a concert for like Kendrick Lamar VR concert. Really weird type of stuff. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. We're trying to figure out what a virtual reality experience should be and like what it actually means to be good. Exactly. Yeah, it could be like Tupac performing a concert, or it could just be you watching a movie. And the problem is that not many people, like how much of the population truly has even put on a VR headset, or even understands what a VR headset. Just like we gave Frank the VR headset yesterday, and everybody, like he said, he's like, I knew what it was, but then once I put it on, it just had this click. You don't really understand until you put it on and you get to move inside of a VR headset.
Yeah, and it moves exactly with you.
And the changes, and I brought up to Frank, maybe if you have a loved one in another place across, America, and this would have been a great thing for when COVID was happening and nobody could have gone and seen grandma. But if you got grandma on Oculus and she didn't fucking have a brain aneurysm because it was a little too intense, then you would have been able to, be in the same room or interact a certain way. You lose the touch, but trust me, in 10 years, that motherfucker will put on a shirt, Mark Zuckerberg, and his wife is going to touch him in an ad, and in one side of the earth, and he's going to be on the other side, and he's going to feel it through his shirt. I'll put money on this podcast today on that.
There definitely will be, because I haven't seen it in a while, but there's like these pillows. You have one for you and your significant other, their long distance relationship. But when I lay down on that pillow in Paris and she's here and I lay on it, the one that she has lights up. That knows I'm in bed type of shit too. So it could lead into something like that.
So I just leave a book on the pillow. Yeah. So my wife thinks I'm in bed, and while I'm out there in Paris doing one on the night.
Going out and eating somebody else's caviar. Some shit. But it would also help, like you said too, with the telehealth care that got big during COVID.
Yeah.
Instead of just, it's on the phone, FaceTime with the doctor, now you're in the VR world, like face to face with the doctor. And I don't know if that's like a lot better, but it's kind of like the next step that they'd probably be going towards.
I think it would make certain people more comfortable, certain people more uncomfortable. We have to get to this space, and the whole point I was saying about how many people on Earth have put on the headset is the people developing it. We don't really know. Like, that it feels good to press R2, and then when you shoot in Call of Duty, it hits, and that everybody likes.
Nothing got me more tight than when they switched it to R2.
Yeah, because we adjusted to R1 for so long. No, I know.
And then I had PS3, and then when I first tried playing it on the PS4, because I never got the PS4, I was trying to throw a grenade, and he's like.
It's like, nah, bro. It's like, actually, this is where you're shooting.
It's like they gave me the inverted controls that I always hated.
So people always shit on the L1 R1. They said the 360 controller was better to shoot.
360 was always like on the back triggers, but the triggers were set up different too, so that's why.
Yeah.
Xbox stinks.
At the end of the day, yeah, I definitely agree, but we're not here for the video game podcast. But my whole point is, how many people have put on this headset? How could you develop something and even know what feels good to someone, or what you think is going to be able to feel good, if not that many people are even allowing themselves to take the advantage? This section has gone on a little too long, but I'll end my point with, if Oculus wants to actually succeed in this, they will have to get to a point where the Quest 2 is more affordable. It's currently $300, or continue to put out more models to where the technology becomes less. And I can see a future within 5 years where the Quest 2 that I had yesterday, which was regularly $300, is down to $150 like MSRP, and then you have the Quest 5 and a bunch of other editions, and then you could feel like, I'm gonna get grandma a fucking Quest for just like I got her an iPad so I can speak on FacePalm and like figure it out.
Yeah, they might just have. I don't know if it would be too great for older people having that shit right over their eyes all the time.
It's not good for me having it on my eyes all the time, so I definitely
like that shit hurts. Like, I'll have headaches at the time when I'm wearing it, and I'm just like, all right, this is pretty cool, but I'm disoriented now.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking fall over. There's a lot that I could talk about with that. Yeah, at the end of the day, Facebook announced its Meta. We're definitely going to be talking about them within the coming futures. They have DM, their stablecoin. They definitely have their toes ready to be put into the blockchain. That sounds disgusting. But, let's talk about some of this Inu frenzy, Mike.
Yeah, so we already know Shiba's been going off all month, but that's turned into other things going up. Would you say Shiba was up like 600% for the month? Now you got Floki Inu is up 223% this week, or even honestly over the last couple of days. The one that I was pretty interested in was Squid Game, because that was a good show.
I didn't even know that Squid Game had a token until this morning when I came in the office.
Yeah, I seen it yesterday. It was up 3,000%. I got a text from Jay Smith this morning. He's like, "Yo, how do you buy Squid Game? Like, where are people getting all these fucking coins? It's up 45,000%." It's like, honestly, bro, I don't know. It's like people are just out of control. And the issue with the Squid Game one is, it's up 45,000%. Users haven't been able to sell it. Like, they can't get it out of their wallets.
This is the Squid Game token.
Yeah, Squid Game. So they're fucked. The only way to get it back now is they gotta, I guess, I don't know if you've seen the show, but they might have to fucking die.
They may have to go play the game. They may have to go, they're all...
Yeah, it's a play-to-earn game, too, allegedly. If the website would ever open up, I'd be able to check
they're
out.
They're gone with all the funds. The protocol is gone.
Yeah, they're cooked. They're like, get the fuck out of here. This Korean barbecue restaurant by my house actually has the red light, green light doll poster like right up on the side of it. I'm like, damn, bro. way to what's the word? Stereotype yourself.
Word.
Let's make it easy for people.
Yeah, you go in there, it's not even owned by a Korean man.
Nah, the guy's probably like Japanese or something. I couldn't believe it.
Let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the ridiculous of Squid Game actually having a token. If you were one of the, I was going to say lucky, but fucking unlucky and stupid people to go out and buy Squid Game, then congratulations, you fucked yourself. There's nothing else I could say. One thing that we do tell people to do is to do your own research. And if you really thought it was a good idea to make a Squid Game token, that's your own fault.
It was up 45,000%. So I mean, it must be doing something. I don't know. I saw that it was 1 cent like 3 days ago. It's $4 now.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking.
It is like it's all ridiculous. Like SHIB, at least it's on. Not at least it's on Coinbase, so that makes it easier for people to buy it. I really don't know where they're getting Squid Game token from. Probably Uniswap or PancakeSwap, some shit like that.
Don't have the energy to even look it up.
But yeah, me neither. I just see it. But fucking, it's with Shiba. You got people buying it like fucking. There's no tomorrow. It's causing these exchanges to crash. Like Coinbase, I remember it didn't really crash. Like I just couldn't open up my portfolio. Like, I couldn't see anything on there. There was just so many people on it buying, selling SHIB, whatever the fuck they were doing. Yeah. But it was just so much volume that I couldn't even load up my portfolio. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's just the whole meme coin token frenzy. We started the podcast and shitting on Doge. And obviously you come around and you figure out that it's just going to be a constant within the industry. And if it could just stay this regular constant where it moves with the rest of the industry and it's not just thousands of dollars in tokens and it's Squid Game token and there's only a couple of few pairs in there, maybe we could justify it. But the continuation of stories like this just leads to really bad publicity for crypto, and it leads to people hearing things like in the last story, Metaverse, to think of them as bad because they hear that some fucking 18-year-old kid made $1 billion off of Floki, whatever, and is blowing up.
Yeah, Floki Inu, Kishu Inu, all the dog ones are up. I think that they're just using each dog token to wash the other dog token. That's what I think.
Sounds about.
I don't know.
That sounds about.
The Squid Game their Twitter support page is actually, they got suspended. So if you're looking for support, you beat. It's pretty funny.
Wow. But I think the big point, to get back to what you're saying, is that they can't get their funds out.
Yeah, it's just locked. And it is a Binance Smart Chain token, which seeing this happen a lot. So that's just right. You don't even know what to do.
You think there's just not enough liquidity within the protocol to give to the people who try to sell?
I mean, it could be, but I feel like they might just be just beat. If it's part of the game, it says to begin each game, 456 participants must be present. Ultimately, one winner is said to walk away with 90% of the prize money, while the remaining 10% goes to the game's developers.
Okay, so this is sweepstakes then, and this shit has to be falling under sweepstakes rules. If they was doing that wording, that's probably why they're fucking to get got by the U.S.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe they're not able to get their funds out because it's part of the game that they agreed to play. I don't know. I didn't really look at it too much. I thought it was just crazy that it was up 45,000%. I knew that it was a play to earn game, but how exactly do you play to earn?
There's literally no way of it telling you. It's just Squid Game. People bought it and pumped it off of name recognition. How do you combat this? I don't know. I think the only way to do it from on a personal level is to do your own research. And hey, you see Squid Game token? This isn't financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. This is what I do. This is personally what I do. If I see Squid Game token, if I saw Squid Game token, say 2 weeks ago, I'd throw $10 in there. The most, maybe 50. The most, if it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg to even get it into the protocol due to gas fees. Because then, who knows? Maybe it goes up 300%, whatever, and I end up with a pretty nice bag. But if it dumps 400% and I can't get my money out, or it's locked within the protocol or something like that, I won't be so burnt. That's just what I personally do when I invest, in especially things that are a little bit higher risk. And this isn't even a little bit higher risk. This is fucking full on.
Definitely super high risk, because it also says in this article, it's worth mentioning that the domain was purchased around 5 days before the analysis of its audit. The CoinScope audit said the team does not guarantee that a project will not remove liquidity, sell off team supply, or any other exit scam strategy. So, I mean, if you're getting that out of an audit, it's kind of hard to want to be
5 days.
You can't guarantee. Yeah, this whole thing, they made this thing 5 days before, I guess, the tokens released and everything launched.
Someone's gonna get arrested very soon. Like, someone's gonna get arrested, like, big time. There's no way. I know there's a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people out there on Twitter. There's a lot of people who like Doge. A lot of people who like Shiba. There's a lot of people within the world that want to get rich and want to do it very quickly. But there's no way in hell that this is natural movement. I truly don't care what anybody says. You cannot sit there and tell me that Doge, Shiba, you're going to tell me that shit's natural?
No, definitely not. It's all, I mean, a lot of it's fabricated. The people you see on Twitter talking about it, they're not the ones that are running the show.
They're fucking shysters. That's what you are, bro. If you're telling people to buy Shiba Inu on fucking Twitter, then you're a shyster. I don't know what else to tell you, because you're going to dump on their bags. Anybody who's telling you to buy Shiba Inu or anything Inu is a fucking shyster and is no friend of mine, honestly. I swear to God. Because, yes, you can make a bunch of money out of it, but they're going to fuck you, bro. You're going to get caught up in Squid Game. I'm tired of being nice to these fucks, bro. I really am. I try to flip it. I try to play it on them. But if you're telling people to buy Shiba Inu, you can go fuck yourself. And if you think I'm talking about you, I am.
No, that is. That's why it's not. I mean, if you get in it before it does these crazy pumps, that's fine. Like, what am I supposed to tell you? You made a good move. But at the end of the long-term future for it, it's not bright. That's how it is. That's how it's going to be for a lot of these meme coins. And, that was one of the issues before the last crash, was Doge took such a huge rip. NFTs were taking a huge rip. The market got over-leveraged, and I don't know, I think that could be something that's looking like it could happen soon. Again,
that's exactly what I was talking about this morning.
It's the same storyline pretty much.
You have way too much money into these projects, and it's not a bunch of few individuals, because then they try to make it out to seem like, oh, all these weak hands. Guess it's, people weren't as strong as they were. It's like, it's definitely like, yeah, there's some weak hands. There's definitely 300 weak hands. But then there's 5 people with the same strength as 10 of those 300 hands, and they fucking sell, and then the shit rips. Yeah. And they told you to buy it on Twitter.
And then they tell you to buy the dip. It's like, bro, could I eat? Like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
I don't have this.
Nobody tells you to pay taxes.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Buy the dip. Yeah. Buy more.
Buy more. Do what you can. What's wrong with you? You can't over leverage yourself.
Pick up the phones and start dialing.
That's just something we don't want.
Your wife left you?
Encapsulate.
Good.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone and start dialing.
It's a fact. But yeah, I didn't mean to get. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating.
You look at it every day, and then it's like, all right, this one that. They're not doing anything. They're not working with governments. They're not trying to help schools. They're not trying to help payment systems.
And you have legitimate things like helium the other day. We're talking about actually fucking giving internet access to people. And then instead, today on Friday, we got to talk about fucking Shiba Inu blowing up 500% because somebody fucking decided to buy 1 billion of them.
They give themselves money. Like, here, you guys want a bonus? Throw it in here. Yeah, I'd play Squid Game, though. I feel like.
The actual game or the token?
The actual game. Realistically, honestly, probably. Fuck it. I could definitely beat the first game. Yeah, I could definitely beat the first game.
I heard it gets pretty wild after that.
What was the second one? The one with the cookie? Oh, fuck that.
I'm dying.
Honestly, I'll be alright. I seen the show, so I know the cheat codes.
Yeah, you're right. You're not a cheater. You don't get around the circle.
The third game. You got to pick a strong team. Tug of war, man.
We're gonna start doing videos of car crashes, of like GTA car crashes. You ever seen that? And like jumping down a mountain and be like, "This is how I would avoid it."
Yeah,
like,
I almost had a GTA car crash last night. A fucking elk was running off, the little Clove Road, the exit to get on the highway over there?
Yeah.
Bro, I see something in the distance running off the exit. What the fuck is that? I thought it was on drugs. I see just gigantic antlers now and a deer running at my car.
Jesus.
Like, what the fuck? And then 20 minutes later when I was on Richmond Avenue, going towards Victory, there's a fucking cop car coming up on the opposite side of the road. I'm driving straight towards them. Like, what are you doing? I don't know. That is just...
It's wild.
Stay off the roads in Staten Island. The cops are jerk-offs. The deer are everywhere. I don't know what to do. You're going to get hit.
That's a fact.
Sooner rather than later.
That's a fact. But we're getting a little bit off topic here. I think we're coming to the end. I don't know if you had anything else to say about the Shiba Inus.
Nah, I shouldn't have sold it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, this may come off as like a bunch of salt because we don't own any, and yeah, maybe there's a little bit sprinkled in there, but it also comes from a place of we want you guys to be safe, and even if we did make a bunch of money off of fucking Shiba Inu, we would not be telling you to buy it right now.
Nah, honestly, if I made a lot of money off of Shiba Inu, nobody would know.
And yeah, exactly. This podcast wouldn't even be out there anymore because I'd be gone. I'd be out of here because I'd make so much money. I'd buy myself a small country. If I can get the money out of the project.
Small town in a nice country.
But thank you for being here, Mike. It's Friday finally. We're going to walk out of here soon and enjoy our weekend. It's Halloween weekend.
Starving too. Yeah, it's Halloween weekend. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Let's
get into another year. Week 8 of the NFL season.
Bro, that is week 8. Where does the time go?
Where is the time going? I don't know.
Week 9. Can't believe it. It's moving quick, guys. Week 10. Who would have thought?
And I can't believe that this is the end of the podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. You can follow me over on Twitter at @crypto_Lajara. That's crypto Lajara. You can follow Mike over at Scuba Scungilli. That's SCUBA SCUNGILLI. You can follow the official FAL Crypto Consultants Twitter over at CryptoFAL. FAL is your one-stop shop for all your cryptocurrency needs, from answering questions for new people to bigger institutional clients. We're there for you, regardless if you're a small business or bank. We'll also make sure to take a tailored approach to all your needs. Our team houses specialists in all areas of cryptocurrency, from mining, trading, creating NFTs, creating DAOs, staking, lending questions, to general market research. We'll also tell you to never fucking buy Shiba Inu, but Doge too. Probably not, actually. It's financial advice, and you don't want to give that out. None of this is financial advice. This is educational advice. Everything you've heard on here is an educational advice. Thank you for listening to the FAL Crypto Consultants Twitter. Thank you for being here, Mike.
Of course. Do you know how tall a Shiba Inu is?
How tall is a Shiba Inu?
I don't know. What did you think, like 2 feet? Probably like 2 feet. Did you?
I think like 2. I think I've seen them standing up, and they do have like weirdly long necks. Like,
I just couldn't believe that they stacked shit that high.
Fucking dead. Have a good weekend, everybody.